What was the wildest way you found out you were being cheated on? 1. While out at a karaoke bar with friends, she came to me crying for sympathy because the guy she was cheating on me with had broken it off. If it wasn't so awful, I could almost be impressed by the utter selfishness in that moment. 2. She said I shouldn't drop by her apartment because her cousin was there. I dropped by and saw her cuddling the guy she told me not to worry about. She didn't realize that her iPhone messages were also synchronized to her Mac, which I was using to stream movies on. I saw text popping up with her writing to her ex about how she loved taking his load on her face. I just packed up my shit and left. 4. A guy messaged me on Facebook saying he fucked her and that he was sorry and didn't know. If I ever see him, I'll buy him a beer for that. 5. Was using the tablet. She was logged in on Messenger on it. Saw messages pop up from a random guy. Went and asked her who he was. She made up some excuse that he was an old customer from one of her jobs and reached out to say hi and was just general chat. Turns out she was deleting all the chat and was meeting up with him for months. Had even called him in front of friends to organize meeting up and had sent me pics while she was out with him, pretending she was having a drink with a workmate at a pub. She demanded to read all the messages on my phone. I said no problem, but only if I could read the messages on hers. She had forgotten to delete a message from a guy saying, "All we ever do is fuck. Can't we hang out sometime?" There was nothing on my phone. 7. Her parents told me. 8. Had a suspicion, but never really knew. Broke up. Week later, she had photos up on Facebook from a wedding expo and talking about being engaged wed. They literally got engaged whilst she was living in the house I got her. 9. He said he was going to dinner at his mom's house one evening. I decided to eat out with friends. I look across the restaurant and there he was, having dinner with his ex. I had the waiter send a note over to their table. Who is the bigger idiot, you or me? The look on his face was priceless. My table had a good laugh over it, and honestly, I was glad to be out of that relationship. 10. We owned a business together. I was using the office computer to create coupons and gift certificates. 2009. She left her email open and saw she was using her email to send pic to someone's cell phone number. She was sleeping with someone at her job and also find out she was sexting my cousin. Divorce finalized in 2010. Church granted me an annulment. She became a stripper after. 11. There was this joke we had in our high school group where you pretend your friend didn't tell you about something important, and you're upset. We would go like, "How could you not tell me? I would have preferred to learn it from you." And when they get confused and stressed, you tell them something super dumb like, "You've replaced your balls with Phillips Hue." And we would get very creative. It had gotten to a point where we would just say it jokingly and see who gives the dumbest answer. She was part of this group, and we had been together for nearly 7 years. A couple years later in college, I was laying on the couch with her, and without thinking, I go, "Damn, how could you do that to me? At least tell me." I was ready to deliver the dumbest answer known to man. She started crying. Turns out she cheated. I never told her I was setting up this joke. She did everything she could to find out who told me. 12. Facebook. Dude posted a picture that included part of her body that had a distinctive tattoo of hers shown while being in a certain place recognizable in the photo. He didn't know she was in a relationship. She had said she wasn't with anyone when she went out. 13. Her iPhone was linked to her MacBook and our daughter was using it. She went upstairs and the MacBook got a notification. Sure enough, not only one dude named Hydropump, reference to squirting, but her ex before me. We were together 11 years at that point, then more and more and more. Fucking life sucks sometimes. 14. I'm first of all sorry for anybody this has happened to. I found out from our daughter. I was going to culinary school at the time. My daughter was about 5, so I took her to school. I went to class and came home to pick her up. Go shopping, do chores for an hour or so. Prepped dinner so my ex could just throw shit together like a cooking show. Then I'd take my daughter to my sister's, and the ex would pick her up after work, so I could go to work until 1 p.m. or so. One day I noticed that they didn't cook what I had prepped. Not uncommon, but when I asked my daughter why, she said, "Mom's other boyfriend brought over pizza." So, I'm in shock. I asked again, "Other boyfriend?" She said she liked him more than the other one. The ex lied until her father that I was really close with told me the truth about her sneaking around. She snuck him on vacation because I was always working. He loved his daughter. I could tell it broke his heart to tell me. We are still close to this day. We were together for 14 years. I still feel like an idiot because I trusted the mother of my child. 15. Got a message from her saying that her friend, F, wanted to come by after work and have a threesome. But the rules was, I couldn't fuck her friend. Only she can. I just could watch and touch. Better than nothing. They come over, and things happen as planned. Turned out her friend did it behind her boyfriend's back. Over the next couple days, I overheard conversations between my GF and her friend, and how they talked just seemed off. Gut feeling kicked in. Asked my GF what was going on. Turned out when she spent the night at her friend's, a couple nights before they ended up hooking up. Now something still felt off, and asked her friend about it. Neither of their stories matched up, and so I confronted my GF about it. Turned out, while they were experimenting, her friend's boyfriend caught them and was upset. So her friend told her that they needed to make him happy, so they allowed him to join them. So not only did she cheat on me with her friend, she cheated it in a full threesome. The reason they set up one with me, kinda, as I couldn't do anything with her friend, is so they could feel better about themselves. This literally happened last week, and I'm still processing everything. 16. So a manager on a company outing shared this story. He was talking about how this one manager was giving this one driver extra shifts. One day, he took this one shift and departed, but an hour in, he was not feeling well. Now this was before cell phones, so he turned around and went back to the yard. He told the yard coordinator what was going on, and the YC told him to take the night off and go home. He arrived at home and went inside, and in the living room, found his boss leaning back on the sofa, hands behind his head with the guy's wife at his crotch. Boss looks at the guy, just shocked. The guy says to his wife, "When you get my boss's dick out of your mouth, go pack a bag and go stay at your sister's. I'm going to bed." He won the divorce in a landslide, and the boss was immediately fired. 17. She was tagged in cruise photos with a 50-year-old guy. We were 19. By the time she got back, I had sold our car, put our place back on the market, and the dog and I got on my motorcycle and rode off into the sunset. Never cheat on the one who holds all the cards.